Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Jack 2505. This is 2505 Sports. It is the 24th of September. It's a Tuesday night, and this is episode 10. I've hit double figures. Episode 10 of 2505 Sports Podcast. Still in its infancy, still a baby. But let's just keep going with this. As always, you can always come and visit me on twitch.tv/Jack2505_. This is where I do the live streams in regards to live football chat when the game's on, as well as a bit of FIFA 19, and I'm going to be moving on to 20 soon. I'm a bit late with that. And also with the Gears of War, Gears 5, Horde House, baby. Yeah. So you can also follow me on Twitter if you search for at Jack2505, and also on YouTube, where this video will be uploaded to Jack space 2505. So please like, share, and subscribe, and feel free to share your comments below. Now, there's a link to my Discord channel, in which the Discord is kind of bubbling, is growing again. There'll be a link to the Discord in my channel, which you can come in, catch up with me and the rest of the community in regards to football, boxing, and gaming as well, covering 2505 Sports and 2505 Gaming. Now, let's get to it. It's Premier League match day 6, man. We're in the 6th game now, right? Now, there's a lot of things happening this weekend. Look at me laughing already. I'm only a couple minutes in and I couldn't hold it in, right? But I have to be professional. I have to tell it how it is. No, this isn't my story. This is the Premier League story, just told through my mouth, basically. So if I just paint the picture, this is some of what happened over the weekend. But basically, started off on Friday night on the South Coast derby, which started off with Southampton against Bournemouth, which ended up being quite a good game, actually. You know, so it started off with a well-placed header from Nathan Ake to put Bournemouth in the lead, and then we have Josh King's goal ruled out for VAR. And then Bournemouth, they then continue their dominance, and then Harry Wilson, the Liverpool loanee, scores again. And does a neat little finish to make it 2-0. Now, Cook bring down Adam in the box and gives Southampton a penalty, which was put away by Ward-Prowse to make it 2-1. And then Callum Wilson takes advantage from an absolutely awful defensive mistake by Southampton to seal their doom with a 3-1 defeat to their close rivals, Bournemouth, which, to my knowledge, their first ever win at Southampton. That is surprising, judging by how old both the clubs are. But you know, records don't lie. It's their first ever win away to Southampton. So all credit to Bournemouth in that in the South Coast derby, winning 3-1 away on a Friday night, and I'm sure they had a really good Friday night after that. So 3-1, and well done to Bournemouth. We now head on to Saturday, in which Leicester entertained Spurs at King Power Stadium. 12:30 kickoff. That was on BT, so I was watching that. So this kicked off with Spurs taking the lead. Now, with this goal, you gotta rate Harry Kane for this. The guy was basically pushed down, and as he was going down, he could have easily just screamed pen, but for some reason, he's just able to just stretch his right leg over it and manage to bang it in the back of the net. You know what? I'm a big fan of Harry Kane. I really like him. I think he's a good player, and Spurs have to be, thanking their lucky stars that he's still there. If you would have said to me 5 years ago, will Harry Kane still be at Tottenham in 2019? I would have said no way. But I think maybe it's because Tottenham, they showed a bit of promise over the years, and they have improved, whether you like Spurs or not. Like, I've never been the biggest Spurs fan. However, Spurs, they've improved dramatically in the league, consistently top 4. They've established themselves as Champions League regulars, and they got to the final last season, even though they got beat by you-know-who. But Spurs, they're on the up. They're missing trophies, but I think that's one of the reasons why Harry Kane is still there. But I'm going a little bit off track. Wonderful goal by Harry Kane, the England captain. So in this game, 2 goals were ruled out by VAR. But Spurs' goals were ruled out by VAR, which was, boy, that was some millimeter shit, man. Like, that was so harsh, but that's VAR for you. When the VAR, there's no great area. Either offside or you're not. It's either a penalty or not. The only iffy thing left, I think, is still the penalties. Leicester, they then equalised in the second half, thanks to a goal from Ricardo, and then enter Mr. James Maddison, my favourite player at Leicester. I know I bang on about him every single week. He did such a bad boy strike from outside the box in the 85th minute, and then Leicester go on to win the game, and they're now up to 3rd while Spurs are 7th. So at the moment, boy, Leicester, I think we've all got to worry about them. They're not messing about. They're looking to, I always knew with Brendan Rodgers they'll do well. Brendan, us Liverpool fans, we know Brendan. Brendan's good with young players, and he's very good at making average players better than what they are. Maybe a bit of a Fergie trait. Obviously, I'm not comparing him to Alex Ferguson. Don't worry about that. But Leicester, at the moment, the way they're going, they keep this up. If I was a United and Chelsea fan, maybe an Arsenal fan, I'd be very worried. Very worried. Because Leicester, at the moment, they look like they're not going nowhere. And you never know, they might break that top six mold. They might even get top 4 the way they're going. But well done to Leicester. Well done to James Maddison. Hard luck, Spurs. Leicester 2-1. Next game was one of the 3 p.m. kickoffs between Burnley and Norwich. So after beating City last week in the freak of the season, Norwich, they travelled to Turf Moor to face Burnley. So after beating Man City, the sky's the limit, right? Well, Burnley took the lead with a header from Chris Wood from the corner. And then later in the game, only 4 minutes later, Chris Wood scores again. So Burnley 2-0 up after 14 minutes. What a difference a week makes. That's just the Premier League for you, innit? I mean, you beat City and then you lose to Burnley the following week. I mean, that's the sort of shit Liverpool used to do years ago. But that's just football for you, innit? I mean, Norwich, they did press on that. They had some charges, some changes. But they were unable to pull one back, and then the game remained 2-0. With Burnley taking all 3 points. So well done to Burnley with the 3 points there. Hard luck, Norwich. But Norwich, they've done okay this season so far. They've won a lot of games. They've given the big teams, apart from Liverpool in the opening game. They gave Chelsea a good game. They beat City, Pookie. They're doing all right. So hard luck to Norwich. I'm sure they'll improve in the next game. So the next game in this is the other side of Merseyside. Everton. Marco Silva, a man probably under more pressure than Ollie. Don't worry, we'll be getting to Ollie later. And this game added salt to the wound with the visit of Sheffield United. So at the moment, the Toffees, they're in awful form at the moment, and they need to pick up form quick. And it didn't start well for Everton, with a goal conceded from a corner, which ended up being classed as an own goal by, what's his name? Yerry Mina. So a bad start for the Blues. And Everton, they had their chances, but they didn't do much in the game at all, man. I mean, Sheffield United, they continue to take their chances, and a lovely pass from Lundstram to Muset, with a great finish past Pickford to make it 2-0. So basically, Sheffield United, they're up to 10th. Everton, they're now in 14th. And things are looking awful for Marco Silva. At the moment, you've got Silva, you've got Solskjaer under some mad pressure at the moment. But I think the first manager to go, if results don't pick up, I think Marco Silva at the moment has to be the favourite. I think Solskjaer... Well, sorry. I'll get to Man United later. Don't get ahead of yourself, bro. Don't get ahead of yourself. Everton 0, Sheffield United 2. Great result for Sheffield United, who are, they're looking to stamp their ground. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I was like, yeah, they got straight back. But at the moment, they're doing quite well, Sheffield United, and at the moment they're in 10th. So well done, Sheffield United, and hard luck, Toffees. The next game, if you look at the top left of your screen, the current champions of England, Manchester City. I mean, as soon as I even blinked, they scored. They absolutely wiped the floor with Watford. What more else is there to say? I mean, City are absolutely fantastic. Aguero, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva hat-trick, Otamendi and De Bruyne. I mean, there's nothing more to say, is there? Apart from the fact that they're brilliant. And Liverpool, they better watch out. Where, Liverpool are 5 points clear. But City are coming. And, it's going to be like a damn horror film all over again. But hopefully, we'll end up on top. I mean, there's nothing more to say. It's 8-0, and City pushed it even further. They could have even got to double figures and got the record. The thing that's annoyed me about this, and this has got nothing to do with Manchester City, all the records are coming out about the high scoring games that people talk about. Man United's 9-0, whatever. What about Liverpool's 9-0 against Crystal Palace in 1989? I don't understand why that particular game is practically erased from existence. Is it because it wasn't the Premier League? You can't erase what man did. So, for anyone listening out there, Liverpool's done a 9-0 as well. They beat Crystal Palace 9-0 at Anfield in 1989. It did happen. It might not have been the Premier League, but it was on TV. It was in colour. And it did happen. If you don't believe me, look at the description below. I've just decided off the cuff just now. I'll put it there for you guys to see. Liverpool's done a 9-0 as well. So I don't understand why this country and the media like to ignore that just because they was in the Premier League. Anyway, that's enough of my little rant there. But I just wanted to just get that one out there. Anyway, well done to City with 8-0. I have to give it to them. 5:30 kickoff between Newcastle and Brighton. And that's between Magpies and Seagulls. A lot of empty seats at St James's Park, or should I be saying the Sports Direct Arena? What is it these days? St James's, fuck it, right? And then for some reason, that was it. There's a header goal ruled offside against Alzate, and a great clearance off the line from Newcastle's Fabian Schär. But the game finished 0-0. Wasn't really much to say. That's one of the games I actually missed, and I'm glad I missed that. No goals, not much to talk about there. Super Sunday now, and this kicked off with Wolves travelling to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Fiery game between the two, as it always is at Palace, and Selhurst Park is such a difficult place to go to. Now, Palace took the lead with a shot by Ward that hit a deflection and went off then Donkor to make it 1-0 to Palace in the 46th minute. Then later, Roman Saz gets a yellow card for one of the most dumbest challenges you'll probably see all season. So he basically done it on Zaha, and Wolves reduced to 10 men thanks to Saz, over a silly challenge like that. Now, Benteke, remember him? Liverpool fans, remember Benteke? I forgot all about him till I watched this game. He had a chance to make it 2-0, but then he kicked it straight at the keeper to remind us of how shit he is. So, I'm glad Liverpool got rid of him, boy. Rubbish. Right at the end, at the death, Palace hit with a sucker punch, with Jota providing a 95th minute equaliser deep into stoppage time to make it 1-1. Oh my days, Palace. Unlucky. And the points are shared. So, boy, Palace will be pissed with that, man, where they could have got all 3 points. But you know how it is in football. These things happen, and you've got to just take it on the chin. Now, we go to Emirates. Now, Aston Villa, they travelled to Arsenal, took a shook lead across from Ghazi, which finished by John McGinn to make it 1-0 to Villa. Now, Maitland-Niles dived in with a silly late challenge, which earned him a second yellow, and which gave him a red. So he was having his shower early, but to be honest, he was limping off. So the Arsenal fans were booing. So it looks like they were saying, look, he was coming off anyway. What's the point in sending him off? But then, with that, it just reduced Arsenal to 10 men. Guendouzi, he was then brought down in the box to give Arsenal a penalty, which was then scored by Nicolas Pepe, his first goal for Arsenal. And I think this is going to be the first of many. I really like Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal got a little gem there, and he's definitely one for the future. So Arsenal fans, you got a good one there. Trust me. He's 2505 approved. Exactly a minute later, Aston Villa strike back and then take the lead from a great surging run from Jack Grealish, who then passes it to Wesley to make it 2-1. What a game. And Arsenal, they're really up against it now. But the Gooners, they weren't dead and buried, and Callum Chambers puts Arsenal back in the game with an equaliser to make it 2-2. Upsets Aubameyang, Mr. Inform, who scored a great free kick to give Arsenal the 3-2 win. And to be honest with Arsenal, because I was watching the Chelsea-Liverpool game, which we're going to get to later, and I was keeping an eye on the score, thinking, oh my days, Arsenal are flopping at Emirates. But Arsenal, they dug deep, and especially this weekend where most of their rivals have dropped points or lost or whatever, it was important for Arsenal to get this win. And congratulations to Arsenal. I think Arsenal any other season, they probably would have lost that game or drawn it, but they showed good grit there. So I have to hand it to Arsenal. They done well. Now, let me adjust myself accordingly. Next we go to East London. The London Stadium to be exact, where West Ham entertained the mighty Man United. Now let's see how this one went. It all started with a great forward run by Mark Noble to Anderson, and then a fantastic finish by Yarmolenko to make it 1-0 to West Ham. Man United on the ropes, down and out. Come on, you Hammers. West Ham then go into the second half, 1-0 up. And United, they don't show much in regards to getting back into this game. United, they're in serious trouble now. One, Roy Keane's going to be on Sky Sports full time until the end of the season. So that's one bad thing for them. And it gets worse. Cresswell hit a fantastic free kick to seal Man United's fate. If this gets worse for Man United, I might have to dedicate a video to them if things carry on like this. Now, look, if anyone's been, anyone been listening to this so far over the last 10 episodes, obviously I don't like Man United. I mean, what Liverpool fan does, and vice versa as well. They're Man United fans that can't stand Liverpool, but for years I have been enjoying their downfall and not analysing it. So if you were to ask me what's going on with Man United, I'll probably look you blankly in the face and say I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. It's just, you know what I mean. It's like eating a dirty kebab. You don't know why you're enjoying it. You don't even know what's in it. You're just enjoying it. That's my relationship with Man United. I don't understand it, but I like it. But I'll take my Liverpool hat off for 1 second and put my football hat on. I think Manchester United, in a nutshell, they need to be sold. They need to be sold. The Glazers needs to put the club on the market, and Ed Woodward needs to get fired. It's the only way. It's the only way. So long as the Glazers and Woodward are there, they could hire Jesus Christ to manage that to manage that team, and even he couldn't save him. Man United need to be sold. They need to learn from Liverpool. And I know, just in case any Man United fan ever listens to this, they think, what the fuck are you talking about? Hear me out. Liverpool's had some dark times as well. Maybe even darker. You remember Hicks and Gillette, the Roy Hodgson era? The thing that saved Liverpool is that they got sold to the Fenway Group. United need to be sold. I guarantee you this. If some rich guy comes along, buys Man United, and has the ambition and the clout and the pull to bring them back where they need to be, that's when they'll be a threat. Because on the pitch, off the pitch, they cannot compete with City on the pitch or off the pitch. With Liverpool, they cannot compete with them on the pitch, but they can compete with Liverpool off the pitch in regards to money. But with those owners there, they're going nowhere. They're going nowhere. And I think this season is going to be an absolute disaster for them. I think United fans, brace yourselves for probably the worst Premier League season you've ever had. Because not that you guys are getting worse, other teams are getting better. West Ham 2, Man United 0. And then we move on to the last game. Last, but certainly not least, the princes of Europe, Chelsea, against the kings, the champions of Europe, Liverpool. At Stamford Bridge, 4:30 kickoff. I was 100% confident with this game. I predicted 2-1. But during this week, both teams get beat in Champions League. Liverpool to Napoli, Chelsea to Valencia. So both teams were looking to respond. Liverpool get a free kick from outside the box. I knew Trent was going to hit him. I was streaming my live reactions on Twitch during the game, and I said to my chat, this looks dangerous. Trent looked focused. Trent looked ready. A nice little back heel from Salah, and bang, as you can see in your bottom right hand corner. What a goal from Trent. Wicked goal. Chelsea then fight back with a goal from Aspilicueta, but it was then ruled out for VAR. And then about a couple minutes later, Firmino scored some naughty header. Firmino scored some naughty header with some macho man meme celebration with Virgil van Dijk. I don't know what that was, but it was funny as fuck. You gotta love Firmino at the moment. He's a bad boy player, wicked player. Firmino, Trent, Mane, Van Dijk, Salah. The list is endless. Anyway, let me stop my bias talk. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be just be describing what's going on. And oh yeah, Kante scored as well. Good goal from Kante though. Wicked goal. Nice, determined straight run. And then with a good fierce hit. Good goal from Kante. Chelsea fought back, but they came short against the champions of Europe. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 2. Great result for Liverpool. Still top of the league, maximum points, 18 points, 5 points clear of City. And Liverpool's next game is Sheffield United, so I expect 3 points there as well. So, we've come to the end of Premier League Match Day 6 with 2505 Sports. I'm Jack2505. It's pretty late here at the moment. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. And I think, off the top of my head, it's Man United Arsenal on Monday, isn't it? Big boy game. I'm telling you this right now. United can't let Arsenal come there and beat them, but oh shit. But I have a feeling I think Arsenal gonna do them. And if they do, boy, we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. But I've been Jack2505. This is 2505 Sports. Thank you very much for listening for another eventful weekend in the Premier League. I'm signing off, and I'll see you next time.